Hey guys, sorry for this being a little bit late, but this is our next monthly gaming podcast. But because it's January and the end of the year, it's a special name. It's going to be the Year in Gaming podcast, and I'm here with the usual suspect.
Bob.
Yes, Nathan is here, or Biometal 6 is here to give our overview of the year, and we have some awards to give out, in fact. But this year's been a very interesting year for gaming. I mean, the Wii U's been announced, the 3DS came out, which is
Amazing.
it's good from what I've heard. I'm definitely interested in buying one, but it's a real big choice for me between that and the PlayStation Vita, because I'm a big RPG fan. The PlayStation Vita does appeal to me, even though the DS was a great one for RPGs. I don't know, I'm gonna wait a little bit and see all their libraries, but you can't really beat a game called Touch My Katamari coming to the PS Vita soon.
That is probably the main reason I get a PS Vita.
Just because of the name of the game.
Yeah.
I mean, wow, epic name.
You judge a book by its cover.
Totally. It's a Katamari Damacy game. I'd love to play one. I mean, we don't have the original in the UK. We only have I Hat Katamari and the PSP one, I think. But irrelevant of the fact, let's talk about. Okay, so what's come out this year in terms of gaming? The 3DS in terms of consoles. The 3DS, the Kinect, right? Or was that last year?
The Kinect wasn't really a console. It's just.
Well, I'm counting it, so fuck you.
Hardware.
Did that
Then-
come out this year?
No, I believe Kinect was late last year.
Well, the Kinect's part of shit anyway, so who cares? They announced the Wii U, which is interesting. I don't know. I'm kind of worried for the Wii U. You know why? Not because the Wii U itself is going to be bad. I'm not necessarily saying that, but I'm saying who's going to buy the Wii U? Think about
Unless it can pull some major tricks out of the hat, I don't think it's going to sell well, because it's going to be really expensive, seeing as what we've seen so far.
Yeah, and other than hardcore Nintendo fans, who are going to buy it? Like,
Well,
the massive library of people who bought the original Wii sold like 6 million or something, like more than the amount of people in London. It sold lots, okay. There's nothing to convince them right now to come over to the Wii U.
Wait, when is the Wii U coming out?
The end of this year.
Okay, so they've got a year to announce it. Although they have got some titles on it, like they've got, if I'm correct, they've got the Batman like Arkham games.
Yeah, they've got that. Darksiders, I think. They've got some licenses, so far. Although, ironically enough, this has less games, but the 3DS had like 140 people making games for it, and there's not even 140 games in the system yet.
Damn.
Which is kind of funny if you ask me. The 3DS didn't have the great launch title. When your best launch game is Nintendogs and Cats.
What was released with the 3DS? Wasn't it like Rayman 3D?
I don't know. I'm gonna have to just look it up real quick. But what I know, it wasn't good. The PS Vita has a really good line of startups, but it won't sell well either. But I'll buy one. That's probably. We're looking for 3DS launch.
3DS launch titles.
Titles. See what comes up. Nintendo confirms UK 3DS launch titles. Okay, this is from the UK.
I'm also on the page.
Yeah, there was not. Okay, let's go through them as it says here. Yeah, the Nintendogs plus Cat games. There's 3 different ones of them. Super Street Fighter 4 3D edition. It's gonna be good. I guess it's good, but
You can buy it. It's
already been available for quite a few years, and if you're really in need for Street Fighter, then you probably would own it.
If you really want to play Super Street Fighter 4, I'd buy it on the 360 or the PS3, because you get with the 3DS version is the addition of 3D, and
there's a new viewing mode, like the way to look at it, and it's really not good. But at least they tried something new. Samurai Warriors Chronicles, I think that's in the Dynasty Warriors series, so it's going to be fun, but not good, so to speak. Tom Clancy's Ghost Recon Shadow Wars, or Tom Clancy's Splinter Cell 3D.
I'm
Don't like the
Ghost Recon games from.
Everyone says the Splinter Cell games are really good. I play them; they're dull. They're not
Ghost
good.
Recon games are out of the question, especially after Ghost Recon Advanced Warfighter achievements.
Right, okay. Rayman 3D. don't even like Rayman games.
I do.
I think they're really overrated. Lego Star Wars 3: The Clone Wars, which was quite bad, and then Super Monkey Ball 3D. Now, before we judge this, I'm gonna say I loved Super Monkey Ball on the whatever it was on first.
GameCube.
GameCube, that's it. I played the fuck out of it. It was so much fun as a kid. But this one just doesn't have it. You can only use the gyroscope. The gyroscope isn't even necessary. And what do they think people would care? They're playing a game called Super Monkey Ball. You control a ball. Don't use the D-pad, use the gyroscope. But no, there's only one mode that does it, and it's just ridiculously easy. Super Monkey Ball is supposed to be a challenging game. But they kind of knocked that down. There's Asphalt 3D and Ridge Racer 3D. As much as I approve of some racing games, both of them were really lacking in content.
Okay, I'm not gonna. From what you've said, well, what do you think of them? Because I'm a big fan of racing games.
Ridge Racer is supposed to be the better one, definitely. But it's better than the PlayStation Vita one. It's gonna have 6 cars and 4 tracks. I'm not even kidding.
That's worse than the original Super Mario Kart.
And the original but it's better than the original Super Mario Kart because it's a pile of crap. Let's be honest.
As we've had, do we want a repeat of the discussion we had like 10 minutes ago?
Go on, say it anyway.
The Super Mario Kart was not a bad game. Don't get me wrong. It's a good game. It's just in comparison to its predecessor, Super Mario Kart 64, it looks like a pile of shit.
And I hate people who say that Super Smash Bros. Games have got worse.
They've got better.
How could they have possibly got worse? Here's my logic, right? You have most of the same areas. They're not missing any of the good ones. Any of the good ones they ported over, and you can use the same controller if you want. You can use the GameCube controller. They have more characters. They have the Smash Balls, which are a lot of fun. How can that be worse? I don't see how adding more makes it worse. I really don't.
I think people didn't like it because there was no Gina. But there's actually a good reason why Gina was...
Because Square made that game, and Square are not partnered with Nintendo anymore.
Yeah, that's why.
The only thing that Square makes for Nintendo is Final Fantasy 3, the remake, and Final Fantasy Revenant Wings, but we're not even talking about that. And Final Fantasy Crystal Chronicles, which are a pile of crap. It's like, you know Final Fantasy? Yeah, we just smashed it against a wall, ate it, threw it back up, pissed on it, licked it a bit, and there you go. Here's our game.
That's some great analogies there.
It's awful. It's awful. Some of the most dumbed down RPGs I've ever played. I played 2 of them, and the one on the DS and one on the Wii, and they weren't good. But
they're not worth the time. There's
probably more launch titles, but there were some real disappointments in the 3DS from what I've played and heard. Like what's that submarine game they released? It was supposed to be really good, but it wasn't.
Steel Diver?
Steel Diver, that was it. But okay, so yeah, that's I think. Anything more you really want to say on the 3DS?
The later release games like Zelda OOT 3D, Super Mario 3D Land, Mario Kart 7, games like that are really fun. But the launch
I really want to get a 3DS for Mario Kart 7 mostly.
I'd get it for Mario 3D Land.
I love Mario Kart though.
Yeah, I quite like Mario Kart as well.
Considering it's called the best Mario Kart game ever, you know.
But then again, each Mario Kart game is then called the best Mario Kart game ever.
People didn't like the Wii one because of balance issues.
Yeah.
Like how the power-ups weren't random; they depended on what place you were. That kind of makes it good. But please, is Mario Kart 7 still have blue shells?
Yeah.
Damn.
After everything that's 64 and after has blue shells.
64 didn't have blue shells.
Yes, it did.
No, it didn't.
Blue shell. They just didn't act the same as they do now.
Yeah. I'm guessing the same with the GameCube. Yeah, but we didn't have douchey blue shells. You gave someone who was in like 7th place, then they hit the person in 1st place and got them nowhere.
They are a bitch. They really.
There's no real 4th, 3rd, and 2nd place are really the only place that you should really give the blue shells. There's no reason to give them. I don't know.
Although I love it when you're on like last place. You can get a bullet bill, like get your way to first and then use it.
Yeah, it's like I've had it before when you know when you get the bad start and you shake.
Yeah.
Yeah, I did that because I'm an idiot sometimes, and I then went straight away, got a bullet bill, and there was such slow distance between us. I passed everyone in like 2 seconds. It's brilliant. But there has been some really good games off the 3DS, and I wouldn't say there's not been many horrors off the 3DS. There's been some bad games, but hey, nothing's more disappointing than Mod Nation Racers. Did you play that?
No.
Oh my god, everything had to load. On the menu, changing like the options to go to something else had to load.
That is.
And for it could last something between 5 minutes. It's like 5 seconds. I mean, to a minute and a half. Ugh.
What's worse, that or the
Okay.
loading times for the PSP 3000?
The PSP 3000 is worse. I don't know. It must be the one I have, because the loading times are worse than my 1000. I mean, the loading times aren't good on my 1000, but they're better than the 3000. I mean, they're not stuff that would detach you from the game. I've never had that much problem with the standard PSP. Everyone else seems to, but I don't. I like it. It runs a nice frame rate. Something I must say, for anyone who hasn't picked up a PSP yet, I would really, really recommend picking up. I'm not saying pick up the PS Vita. That's a different story. We should probably go on. We don't even need to go on to this box. It's talking about last year. But there's so many good games that have come out, and if you're an RPG fan, I almost beg you to get the PSP. There's some really good RPGs on there. Like Final Fantasy remakes. They got 1, 2, 4, and a tactics game which I haven't bought yet. It looks pretty good. They got the Dissidia games, which are great. They have Star Ocean 1 and 2 remakes. They've got, if you're a fan of the White Knight Chronicle games on PS3, which I wish I could be if I had a PS3, damn. They have the White Knight Chronicles Origins. They have Valkyrie Chronicles, Valkyrie Profile 2, I believe. I think that's the right name. There's just a lot of good PSP RPGs that you can pick up. Crisis Core, there's another one. So many good games on it. If you're an RPG fan, I highly recommend you pick it up. Even now. Okay, that's all I have to say on the PSP. The Wii's been doing good this year. Pretty good year, I'd say.
Pretty good year for all consoles, I'd say. Altogether.
Yeah, I think overall this has been a good year for consoles. I mean, there's been some disappointments.
That was terrible.
It was so bad. It was just the same two things over. Ugh. But you know what? We're getting too much into this. Let's go on to the awards, and then we can talk a bit more in the after party, so to speak. So, would you like to introduce our first category, Nathan?
First category of Podcast 2011 Gaming Year. Best platformer is Mario 3D Land.
Yes, next time I'll show you how to do this, because we're going to have a build-up, no randomness. We have 3 best-ofs this year. Best platformer, best RPG, and best shooter, because we think they're the biggest genres right now. You can argue otherwise, but that's what we're doing.
You're wrong.
Now, Mario 3D Land, I've seen a lot of gameplay, I've played a little bit of it, it's great fun. It's brilliant. A bit slower paced than Galaxy, but you know, I'm okay with that. Nathan, you own the game, right? So
it's got to be badass if it brings back a Tanuki suit from 1989.
I don't remember the exact year. I think so. Nathan, do you own Mario 3D Land?
No, but when I get my money soon, I'm definitely buying it.
I played a fair bit of it, like 2-3 Worlds, and it's really good. It's just like, it's a weird way of doing it. It's so much better to play the 3D on, trust me. It's really good. But okay, I think that's all I really want to say on Mario 3D Land. So we'll move on to the next thing that I'll introduce, which is the best RPG of the year. Now, there's not been that many great RPGs, but there were 2 that really stood out to me. 3 of being technical about things. And the winner is Pokemon Black and White for the DS. Why do I say this? You could all be like, but the Pokemon in that game suck. No, they don't. If you're talking about bad designs, let's talk first gen. Seal, Doug Trio, Magneton. Yeah, great designs. No, stop being a retro douche. I hate retro douches. Once we won't accept new games, because because they're so in love with retro games. But they want to accept a new version because it's not the original. Same with people who do vice versa with new games. It pisses me off. Okay, hate it. But it wiped clean the slate of Pokemon and did something new. They told a really interesting story, and the characters actually memorable. Believe it or not, they're not just your general cliches, which I think is really good and a nice step for Pokemon. We'd like to give an honourable mention to Xenoblade Chronicles, which is the Wii RPG, because I haven't played enough of it to really be able to give it a high rating, but it's good. It's very good. It's what the Wii needed earlier on in its lifespan. Now the Wii is coming to its end. Even though I think that we will still be making games for two years, I'm gonna say, after the Wii U comes out. What do you think, Nathan, about the Wii?
Yeah, it's gonna pull a PlayStation 3.
What's that? What's pulling a PlayStation 3?
Basically, after the PS3 came out, the PS2 lived for quite some time afterwards.
Well, yeah, Persona 4 came like 2009.
It was quite good.
Which is pretty impressive if you ask me. Yeah, and I think the DS will do the same. The DS is going to live for a little bit longer.
Yeah, I reckon it will as well.
There's a few games I would like to pick up on the DS that I haven't got around to picking up yet. Which mainly the Dragon Quest games.
Yeah.
I've got most of the stuff I want.
You told me quite a funny story about them.
Did I?
Like, the moment I called you about them in Japan.
Oh yeah. Yeah, this is an interesting story. If you're a fan of Dragon Quest, you probably find this quite interesting. We would have put Dragon Quest 9 on here, but it was good. But I think Pokemon Black and White does take it because of how much it made Pokemon interesting again. It made it fun to play. And I'm going to stand by that. You can attack me saying Xenoblade and Dragon Quest 9. Even the Dragon Quest 9 came out last year, I think.
Well, yeah, technically was last year. You mean the year after?
You know what I mean. We're talking as if this is 2011, okay? So fuck you.
Correct.
Yeah, it could have come out last year, I don't remember. But either way, Pokemon Black and White really did change. It's a good game changer for Pokemon, and gives me bright hope for the future. I mean, I think the next one's going to be Ruby Sapphire remakes, but irrelevant. But
although, one thing I have got to say, they've run out of ideas for legendaries now. Face it, they have.
What do you mean?
They've pretty much done everything they can possibly do for legend.
I think Zekrom and Reshiram look really cool.
Yeah, but they've done those ideas now that we've got we've got elements, God, emotions. What else?
They have weather ones, the new thing, which are kind of cool if you ask me.
Yeah, but they've pretty much done everything. So coming up with ideas.
They're Japanese. They'll come up with something.
Yeah, they're Japanese. They can do anything.
I mean, I think as much people said Reshiram and Zekrom looked like Digimon. Fuck you is my response, really.
Digimon was quite cool.
Digimon was quite shit, I'll be honest.
I never got into Digimon
but
though.
Irrelevant to the fact, Pokemon Black and White are amazing games, and if you kind of went off it because you thought they were going to be bad, like I don't know, you could say Diamond and Pearl would be pretty shit in comparison.
I like
Diamond and Pearl was a step down. Platinum, as much people hate on Platinum was so much better, considering there was like, what, two like fire types in the whole game. But whatever, let's move on to the next category. So, Nathan, you can introduce this one.
Okay, best shooter, Portal 2. But
you're so anticlimactic. You'll say, and the best shooter 2011 is Portal 2.
Then one quick thing.
Go on.
People that are going to say it's not a shooter, it's a puzzle game. You are wrong.
No. The people who say it's not a shooter and a puzzle game, fuck you.
You are wrong in 4 different Ds.
Exactly. It's a shooter. It's a first-person shooter that shoots different things to bullets. Shooting, it's not just bullets. You can shoot peanuts if you wanted to, and still a shooter. So that's coming first because it's awesome. I love Wheatley. I love GLaDOS again. There's a potato. Spoilers, I guess. I don't know.
Spoiler.
Effing counts as spoiler nowadays. It's amazing install. Sorry. It's amazing installation. Amazing continuation of an amazing game series for the PC, PS2, PS, and 360. And I wouldn't say it's as good as the first one, but the first one was one of my favorite games of all time. Probably my favorite puzzle game. Up there with the Phoenix Wright games. Although they're more point and click, if you ask me. But really good. It lives up to the. It wasn't disappointing. It just wasn't as good as the first one. And hey, we can all hate some Portal fans sometimes. As much as I love Portal, I hate the fan base. Okay, anything you want to say about Portal 2, Nathan?
It does look quite amazing, and I'm looking forward to the new DLC where you can make your own maps.
Yeah, that's going to be really cool. Next we've got the most innovative game of 2011. I was about to say 2012, I feel very stupid then. Now, there's been a few game changes this year with the, more so with the 3DS, which is a very different take on gaming, and the Wii U announcement, really.
Yeah.
Nintendo likes to do stuff differently, but I honestly think they should just step back and just make another normal console. People would buy it.
They should totally go for Super Nintendo Mark II.
People were saying that that's how they were going to make the Wii U look, but I was like, yeah, bullshit. Project Cafe was called time. Anyway, the most innovative game of last year or this year, whatever, I don't know, is, drumroll, LA Noire. And now I'm gonna give it to that game because it took a shooter, a third-person cover shooter, free roaming sandbox game, and a point-and-click game into one. It was very interesting how it did things. It's so different to everything else in the market right now, and I'm glad it sold as well as it did.
The most innovative part of it, though, which you didn't mention, the facial expressions are legendary.
Oh my god, they must have taken a long time to do that. I think what they did is they
actually...
actually...
how they did it, though?
Go on.
All they did was they you basically wear like a green shirt, so like sort of be like a green screen, so they capture your head.
Yeah.
They put you in the hairstyle, so it's actually capturing you, and it's like, and they put 18 different cameras at all different camera angles that are fixated on your face. So like, you'll talk and you'll do the facial expressions. So like, if you want to do a grin, you will do a grin, and it'll capture it from all the different angles, and it will mold it into like one face.
That's freaking awesome. That's what I was actually going to tell the story, but you got to tell it. And I think it's a really good game, and free discs, man. How many games in recent years have been free discs? You could say Blue Dragon, but that was crap, so...
Decent games.
How many good games have been free discs recently? People are probably going to come up with a list of like 16 games that have been, but you know what? Screw you guys. You suck.
Here's the list.
Actually, there's many free disc games in recent years. But whatever, it's a really good game, and if you're into like shooters, interesting storylines, characters, stupid to be into, puzzle games, no, point-and-click games, and like GTA even. It's kind of like GTA from the other side, I guess.
If you want Professor Layton on steroids, buy that game.
Totally. Next, I think you can introduce this one, Nathan.
Best video game music of 2011 is Skyward Sword.
Yes, and although Skyward Sword to me was a big disappointment, had some amazing music, there's not really too much I have to say about it, because it's Zelda, what do you expect? The Zelda music is always so good. It fits the atmospheres perfectly. I mean, Zelda's never going to go wrong with music, at least, even though Skyward Sword disappointed me. It wasn't bad, it just wasn't anything new enough for me to care.
The only real new thing was upgrades, and...
But there wasn't a gimmick like every other one, which was really good.
And then you've also got motion controls, which should have been optional.
Yeah, they annoy me. I don't like using them. I want to be able to use my GameCube controller, because it's better. I like the controls on it better. So screw you, Nintendo. No, the gimmick really was supposed to be the Loftwing. No, not Loftwing. The whatever the fucking birds are called. I think they're called Loftwings. But really, they were just the boat from Wind Waker, but shitter. I didn't even like the boat from Wind Waker that much. It was a little bit dull. At least the music was good. But there's an honourable mention we have to give. It's to Pokemon Black and White, which I'd say has the best soundtrack. And oh my god, if I get a comment saying this is the Pokemon game, the best, fuck you. Okay? No, they didn't. And I watched this guy's video who made a song about Pokemon. What happened to you? He's like, I missed the Pokemon Center. I'm like, it's in every other game.
Oh, I've seen that video.
It's such a stupid video because every one of his points is bad. How the hell do you pronounce Suicune? That way.
How do you pronounce Suicune? By saying Suicune.
Well,
although I always used to pronounce it Suicune before I actually watched
either way, it's Japanese. It doesn't matter how you pronounce it. The games did not get bad after the first one. In fact, the second game was probably one of the best. Even though at the moment I'm kind of in favour of Pokemon Black and White. Probably because I played them more recently, so I love them a bit more. But they're really good. Really good games. And the music in them is good, but one of the reasons you didn't put it on top is a few of the songs are based off Mother 3 songs.
That's making
I don't know if it's a coincidence or not, but it's just really good. It has really good music, Mother 3, by all stretches of the word. But if it's so... I think Sky Sword had better music overall, but the fact that some of the tracks were very similar to other ones did kind of push this down for me. Okay.
Otherwise, it would be very split.
Yeah. Now, I'll let Nathan pronounce this one.
Most burnable game of the year 2011 goes to Connectables
now with Bears. Oh yeah. Okay.
Would you like to speak about it?
You can go first.
Okay. Connectables. Relatively bad game to begin with. It costs about £30, which is about $55, I reckon, in head maths.
Like that.
But like 35, like 55, 45. But anyway, it's a game where you pet animals.
Fun.
Okay, what's the point in reselling a game with bears? It could have been DLC.
All it needs was make a Bears DLC. And who would have bought who's buying this game? Who thinks, I didn't really want Connectables, but now they're selling it with bears, I've got to do it.
That's a big sell.
And Connectables has probably gone down in price. There's no point in buying now with bears.
They should have just literally made it a DLC and then everybody would have been happy.
Yeah. If you're into retarded games, then... If you're into... oh god.
Into... Glue. Oh god, this is not good.
Sorry about that, ladies and gentlemen. I just got interrupted. I'll cut that out. What was I saying before I went off?
Oh, I can't remember. My memories.
Either way.
About the fact that Connector was going down in price.
Yeah, it's totally gone down in price. So why would you pay extra money for bears? They're bears.
They should have made it a DLC.
Exactly.
But really, if you think about it, DLCs, you have to have Xbox Live. Xbox Live. What 3-year-old would have Xbox Live by a DLC?
No, you can have Silver membership, which is free membership, and get DLCs, right? I believe.
Yes, you can, but still, why would you get Xbox Live if you're a child?
It's true. It's true, this. Why would you, I don't know. Children's market. And the second most burnable game of the year is have to go to Call of Duty Modern Warfare 3, because the amount of people who have fucking talked about that game,
it's ridiculous.
I just want to hit them with something sharp and metal. It's not that good. It's I don't even want to get into it. We're not going into it. Next thing, I think I should announce this one.
Yes.
The worst game of the year, the absolute most horrible, horrendous, horrific waste of space to come out this year. Final Fantasy 14 Online. One of the classes is Fisherman.
Yes.
That is how I sum up the game and how much it sucks. One of the classes is fucking Fisherman.
I wouldn't mess with a fisherman, dude. they could rip your balls off.
The combat is so boring. Okay, I'll prove to you, Spadge. You cannot fight me. When Square said they apologized to everyone and made it free to play because people hated it that much. They apologized to everyone who paid money for it. That's how
I know
bad it
something
is.
better. I know somebody who bought it. I actually know this guy. And then he bought it, he put it in, he loved the intro. The intro to it is absolutely amazing. And then he goes to play the game, he plays it for about half an hour, then he writes an email to Square Enix, and they give him all his money back, plus extra for it.
Wow. I mean, Square have done bad in their recent years, but I'm not going to lose hope. I'll give you 2 reasons. Birth by Sleep and Dragon Quest IX. They were both really good games.
And then we've also got the upcoming Kingdom Hearts 3D Dream Drop Distance.
And they haven't made a bad Kingdom Hearts game. People hate on Kingdom Hearts 2 for no reason, even though it's way more fun than Kingdom Hearts 1.
It's the super
If anything, Kingdom Hearts 2 is better. Although it's easy, sure, but Kingdom Hearts 1 was just annoying. More than anything. That was where its difficulty was in annoyance. Although, Monstro, which is the hardest one in the game, if you watch my LP, I actually beat the, I beat Monstro in 5 minutes. The actual big bulk of the dungeon, which usually with last time I played for it took me half an hour.
Wow.
Yeah. Okay, so I guess I get to announce this one because you announced 2 in a row. This is the best DLC of the year. I don't really have too much to say about this. This is peer review from Portal 2. Very good DLC for the multiplayer. The multiplayer is actually a lot of fun. I didn't expect too much of it. I was really just thinking I was going to ignore it, but I played it a fair bit and it's fun.
Another quick fact: if it's a free DLC, you think it's bound to be bad, but it's quite amazing for the fact that it is free.
Yeah. It's great. It's really good. Okay, and we have an honorable mention to Old World Blues from Fallout New Vegas, just because the amount. I think that makes more Portal references than Portal 2.
Also, fun fact. Well, it's not really a fun fact. Microsoft rated it I think it was 3rd, or it was somewhere high in the best DLC of this year.
Yeah. I think they gave peer review first, actually.
I can't remember, but Microsoft, in the things of 2011, they put it in the best list, so it's bound to be good.
Okay, now you get to announce this one.
Douchiest DLC of the year, 2011. Hats, Team Fortress 2.
That's all. Next one. Worst internet meme from a game of the year.
Internet memes used to be good, but then you took an arrow to the knee.
Shut up! It's so unfunny. I hate Skyrim now. I've played the game once and I hate it. Not from playing it, from the fucking fan base. If I hear one more person tell me how Skyrim's the best game ever, I'm going to come to their house, rip off their balls, and make them swallow them.
Then you place an arrow in their knee and then walk away.
I mean, oh my god, anyone who makes that joke, other than just to troll people because it pisses them off, is anyone who's... I don't know. It's just a stupid internet meme. Should never have been made. It's not funny. It wasn't a funny thing. I used to be rich like you took an arrow to the knee. Wow, I don't care. Ha ha ha.
The best thing that's happened to that meme, I saw a video, they said, I used to be an adventurer like you, they took an arrow to the knee. The screen went red with fire, then you look and everybody is dead with arrows in their knees and you just walk around the whole of the village. With every single person in there with an arrow in their knee.
Nice. So yeah, best internet meme, well, worst internet meme even, arrow to the knee Skyrim, and I hope it dies slowly in a fire with all you Skyrim fanboys. Yeah, so, next.
You can do this one.
Okay. The best sequel this year, although Portal 2 was good, Deus Ex Human Revolution takes the crown, just because of how much it improved overall on the first game. Like, the first game was good, and honestly, I played a bit the first game and thought, I don't know what the second one can do and improve it, but every aspect is better. So, you know, like the first Deus Ex, you can like the second one. It's made by Square, so that's another thing that shows Square are good. I think Square made it, or they published it, either or. Okay.
Also, the fact that it's now or despite the fact it's new and it's good, it's relatively cheap.
It's because it didn't sell too well, because not many people know the series.
Yeah, I think it's like a tenner.
Yeah, something like
Okay.
that. And I think you can do the next one.
Best new series, 2011, Los Angeles Noir.
Not really much more to say about it. We've already talked about it in the most innovative thing, but it's a really, really good game. And hopefully they make a sequel. A good sequel. With different police
I don't know
officer.
if they can make a sequel, but
Huh?
they're Rockstar Games.
Yeah, I mean, they made Arkham City, which was good. Not as good as the first one, in my opinion. But whatever. That's just me.
That's just me.
Thank you. This part of the video really needs a song. Yeah, but I think they could make a good sequel with like a new story, maybe set in a, I don't know. It's where police games should be set though, in that timeline. We should go through a different story of a different person. I don't know. They could make a sequel for it, and I hope they do make a good sequel to it, because I'd like to play.
Put it 10 years later in the line, and then.
Oh, they will, and it'll be like, what's it? They'll call it LA. LA Noir. Oh my god, I'm losing words. But,
LA.
Huh?
LA Light.
Yeah. No, they'll call it, right, I've got it. I think I know what they can call it. They would call it, right, they could call it, LA Noir Forever.
That would be perfect.
That would be a brilliant way to make a crappy sequel that took place so many years after the original game, which is already a game that's outdated. Anyway, before we, go too on into that, we're gonna have to get, the next award, which is the best new character. And now, there are a few candidates for this, and I think the award has to go to everyone's favourite, Wheatley from Portal 2. Why Wheatley? Because he's epic, he's hilarious, everything he says is funny. Nathan died. He's an awesome character, and yeah, Wheatley.
He's voiced by a British person. That's making him cool.
He's voiced by Stephen Merchant, Ricky Gervais' BFF or something. If you don't know about him, you suck. You just fail. British humour's the best. It probably isn't, but I like British humour more than American humour, because American humour is pretty derpy.
No, you like British humour. It's not like you're British at all.
No, it's not like that. Okay, and the honourable mention does go to N from Pokemon Black and White. He's the first character in a Pokemon game I actually liked. And he was the villain, spoilers. But I actually cared about him a fair bit. And N's farewell was a very sad goodbye to him. But that's all I have to say on that. So, next.
Most disappointing game of the year.
Now, if you haven't already guessed, which I think you already have, it is...
Duke Nukem Forever?
Duke Nukem for Never Do This Again. Is what they should have called it. It's so bad and repetitive. You know, it doesn't even deserve any more time than this. Because we're getting towards the end. There's only 2 more categories.
No, it should be called Duke Nukem for Never Gonna Give You Up.
No, it should be called Duke Nukem for Never. Just never. So bad. I didn't even like the first one that much. I mean, it was good, but it's really not. It's like those retro douches who say, "Oh, GoldenEye, it's the best shooter." It hasn't aged well at all. But irrelevant. Next category, best game based off of a movie, which is Lego Pirates of the Caribbean, which is actually a surprisingly good game. Lego games have always been good. Anything to say about the Lego games, Nathan?
Lego games. I have a fond memory of the original Lego Star Wars, which I bought on my PS2 back when I had short hair and was not a dweeb.
You're still a dweeb.
Okay, when I was less of a dweeb. I managed to beat... It was the first game I ever managed to beat 100%, and it was amazing. I loved it.
The first game I ever managed to beat 100% is The Simpson Run.
Because you are a whore.
I am. I played the game so much. But okay, now here's the final award. The ultimate. The best game of the year. Our game of the year
Is... Go Gloom.
Pokemon Black and White. Now, I'll probably get some hate for this, but whatever. It improved the Pokemon series so much, we said before, and it's just so good, and I think it deserves Game of the Year. Although, I don't know what actually got Game of the Year. I'm gonna guess Skyrim, but fuck Skyrim, because the fan base is an annoying bunch of douches. I mean, I'm not that big of a fan of the,
Western.
Um,
Elder Scrolls.
no, I'm not that big of a fan of the Portal fan base, but God, I can stand them more than the Skyrim one. Like, if you say a word bad about Skyrim, even a valid point, like, no, Skyrim's so good, even though there's so many glitches, just no. Okay?
I've seen a glitch where there was this tiger on the mountain, and he would just went flying into the air, just spiraling around.
And glitches are bad. Fallout New Vegas showed us that. That game was like, people gave like 7 out of 10s, but now it's updated, I think people get 9. I really like New Vegas actually, but originally it was so glitchy that it was even unplayable. So
Yeah.
thank you for watching our 2011 Year in Gaming podcast, and any last words?
I would like to say that Pokemon Black and White is possibly going to be the best until the new Pokemon game comes out, technically Grey.
Yeah, and I don't care what anyone says, the third Pokemon game in every installment is always the best. Anyway, thank you guys for watching. I hope you enjoyed my content that's come out this year. I mean, I've only been around for a month, really, but I hope you enjoyed everything I've come out with so far. More Let's Play videos. I'm working on doing some reviews of some games, which I think will be a lot of fun. More content to come this year, and expect the new Month in Gaming podcast to come in a few weeks. So,
Yes.
thank you very much for watching, and we'll see you guys in the next video. Goodbye from Gloom.
Yes. And goodbye from Bob.
Good night. Or something. Later.